Now, would you please raise your hats, remove your hats, and rise for the playing of the national anthem.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to UMW Athletics Live at umweagles.com. I'm Clint Often, Sports Information Director. Alongside today is the University of Mary Washington baseball team hosting Christopher Newport University in Capital Athletic Conference action. The Eagles 15-5 on the season, own a 6-5 record in the CAC, while Christopher Newport enters with a record of 10-9 overall and 4-7 in CAC play. It's a big opportunity here. The Eagles have defeated the Captains in their first meeting in a split series in conference play. The Eagles defeated CNU back on March 12th by a score of 6-5 in Newport News. Toeing the rubber for the Eagles today will be freshman Joe Thompson. Thompson, a 6'1" lefty from Landenberg, Pennsylvania. He attended West Grove High School. And the Eagles defensively will have senior John O'Hott catching, freshman David Slupek at first, junior James Keller at second, Thomas Weaver, the sophomore, at third base, and at shortstop, junior Justin Kime. Around the outfield for the Eagles, in left field will be junior Mitch Moy left. Sophomore Kyle Bynum is in center, and in right will be sophomore Brian Burns. Eagles under head coach Wayne Reiser in his third season in the home whites today as Thompson finishes his warm-up throws, and we are just about set for first pitch.
Leading off for the Captains, number 1, Keith Roberts.
Well, leading off for Christopher Newport will be sophomore Keith Roberts from Clover Hill High School in Midlothian, Virginia. Both teams obviously state Virginia schools loaded with Virginia players. And the first pitch of the game in there, misses low, ball one. And the 1-0 pitch. That one catches the inside corner, 1-1. Windy day here at Dickinson Stadium. As you can see, the flags blowing straight in with some gusto. That one just misses Weaver in. Throws on to first in time for out number 1. So Roberts out 5-3, and that'll bring up sophomore A.J. Nicely, outfielder from Chesterfield, Virginia. And the first pitch swinging, grounded to second. Keller up with it, on to Slupek at first for out number 2. So 3 pitches and 2 outs for Thompson. And that'll bring up number 44, Brandon Ginch. First pitch swinging again is Brandon Ginch. Thompson on to first, and that'll retire the captains in order. For CNU in the first, no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the first with no score. Well, back now for the bottom of the first. It'll be Keller, Kime, and Hott up there for the Eagles. James Keller leading off, junior second baseman from nearby Fredericksburg, attended VMI collegiately before transferring back to UMW. And pitching today for the captains is number 36, Blake Ream, a junior from Yorktown, 6'4", 225. His first pitch is in there for a strike. And the 0-1. That one hit towards right, and that'll fall for a base hit. So Keller starts things off with a single. And the Eagles with the leadoff man aboard here in the first. So that'll bring up the Eagles shortstop, number 6, Justin Kime. Kime, a junior from Stafford. And first pitch taken high, ball 1. Now Kime ahead, 1-0. Third baseman on the edge of the grass, expecting bunt. Kime squared on the first pitch, does not on this one, takes a strike, 1-1. Now the set and the 1-1 in there, ground ball. And the hit and run works to perfection. Keller will stop at second, and the Eagles with 2 aboard. Catcher Jono Hott. Hott hitting .570 on the season thus far. Up there with men on first and second and nobody out. Here in the first. And the pitch from Ream. Taken for a strike, 0-1. Wind whistling straight in now. Now Ream with the 0-1. That one low, gets away. The runners will advance. So now both runners in scoring position. Nobody out here in the first, and Hott up there with a count of 1-1. Now Ream. And Hott pops that one out of play, 1-2. Captain's playing halfway on the infield. The 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3 for out number 1. So Hott with the rare strikeout. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Mitch Moynihan. So 1 down, runners on second and third, no score. And Moynihan hits that one to right center and deep. That one's going to find pay dirt. Both runners will score. Moynihan will step into second as run number 2 crosses the plate. Moynihan with the 2-run double. And the Eagles now lead it 2-0. So Sink in there for the Eagles, 1-0 the count. Moynihan at second. And that one swung on and missed. 1-1 the count to Sink, Eagles designated hitter from Midlothian, Virginia. Attended Cosby High School. Sink gets a piece of that one. That'll run the count to 1-2. At 1-2 the count on Sink. Ream checks Moynihan at second. That one outside for ball 2. And that one will get through. Sink with the single. Moynihan with 1 out will stop at third. The Eagles now runners at the corners with 1 down. That'll bring up the first baseman, David Slupek. Slupek, a freshman from Mountain View High School in Stafford. Second on the team in hitting. through 20 games. And the left-handed hitter will step in with runners on the corners, 1 out. Eagles leading it 2-0 here in the bottom of the first. And that one hits Slupek in the calf, so that'll load up the bases. So 1 down, bases loaded. That'll bring up the third baseman, Thomas Weaver. Weaver, a sophomore from Salem, Virginia. And Ream sets. That one in there low, ball 1. And the pitch from Ream, that one in. Ooh, that one looked like it ran inside, called a strike, 1-1. Now 1-1 with 1 down to count to number 11. And the pitch, Weaver outside, ball 2. Moynihan at third, Sink at second, Slupek at first. And Weaver in there with a 2-1 count. And the pitch from Ream is low, ball 3. Nowhere to put him here. As good of a hitter's count as you get, 3-1 with the bases loaded. As the leaf blows into view. And the 3-1 taken low, ball 4, and the Eagles will plate another run. So Moynihan in to score. The Eagles' third run of the inning, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Brian Burns. And looks like we will have a meeting on the mound. As the base runners clear to have a word with Coach Reiser. Coach Reiser wanted to say hello to Clive Argvis watching in out in Amarillo. And we're going to get set for action here as the meeting on the mound over. And the runners retreat to their bases. And that'll bring up Burns. Burns, sophomore from Oak Hill, Virginia. Now Ream sets. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. And the pitch. Missing outside, 1-1. Base is still loaded. 1 down here in the bottom of the first. And the 1-1 hit in the air down the right field line, but out of play, and that'll run the count to 1-2. Now Ream gets his sign. And the 1-2 hit in the air to shallow right. That'll fall. 1 run is in. Slupek is held at third. So another hit, another run for the Eagles. Now 4 runs on 5 hits here in the first. Bases still loaded. That'll bring up the center fielder, Kyle Bynum, as the Eagles bat around here in inning number 1. So Bynum steps in from Portsmouth, Virginia, very close to the CNU campus, as he takes ball 1. And the 1-0, taking high, ball 2. Now Ream sets 2-0, is taking low, ball 3. So now Bynum, the Eagles' 9th place hitter, in there with a 3-0 count, and the bases loaded. Bynum with a big RBI double on Sunday. The Eagles' 3-0 win over York as they swept the doubleheader in CAC play from the Spartans. And the 3-0 in there for a strike, 3-1. And the 3-1 pitch taken high, ball 4, and another run will come across thanks to another bases loaded walk. Eagles now lead it 5-0. And that'll turn it over back to the top of the order, and second baseman James Keller, who led things off with a single in his first at bat. First pitch from Ream is in there for a strike, 0-1. And the 0-1 swung on and missed the breaking ball, 0-2. Now Ream way ahead. And the 0-2 pitch outside, ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes to Keller. Bases loaded, 1 out. Held up on that one, ball 2. And the 2-2 high. And now a full count. So bases loaded, 1 down. The Eagles leading at 5-0 here in the bottom of the first. And the pitch. Strike 3 called on Keller at the bottom of the zone for out number 2, and that'll bring up the shortstop Justin Kime. Kime in his second at bat of the inning. Takes that one low and away, ball 1. Now the 1-0 pitch from Ream. And a check swing there by Kime. Couldn't hold it up. That'll even the count at 1-1. Now Ream from the windup. 1-1 is low, blocked there at the plate. by the catcher Tyler Wood. Keim ahead in the count now, 2-1. And the 2-1 pitch. High and inside, ball 3. So Keim working the hitter's count here with 2 down in the first. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. The wind just whipping in, straight in from center field. And the 3-1 pitch. Called strike, full count. So 3-2, 2 outs. With the bases loaded, the Eagles will take off on the pitch, and with Ream pitching from the windup, should get a good jump here. And the 3-2 pitch hit up the middle, taken by the shortstop on to first for out number 3, and that'll do it for the Eagles. But not before they score 5 runs on 5 hits. There were no errors and 3 runners left on base. We'll move to the top of the second with the Eagles leading it 5-0. Well, back now for the top of the second, Eagles with a 5-0 lead. And the captains, the 4, 5, 6 hitters due up here in the second. First pitch from Thompson in there, called strike to number 21, Craig Johnson. Johnson, a freshman from Chesterfield, Virginia. And the 0-1 from Thompson, that one outside, 1-1. Now Thompson. Pitch in the hole, past a diving Keller. And that's the first hit of the day for the captains with a leadoff single here in the second. That'll bring up the shortstop Kyle Corwin, junior from Centerville, Virginia. And Thompson tosses over to first. Johnson back in safely. Busy week for the Eagles this week in CAC play as they will hit the road on Thursday. Southern Virginia at 4 p.m. Now a bunt up there. Attempt called strike. And then the Eagles back on the road on Saturday when they visit Marymount for a doubleheader at noon. And the Saints just behind the Eagles in the standings, even in the loss column, 4 and 5, as the Eagles 6 and 5 in CAC play. So a big doubleheader there. Eagles off to a good start here today, leading 5-0 here in the second. And that one hit hard to center. Bynum gets a good jump on it. He'll make the catch. Throw into first is over the head of Slupik. and into the dugout, so the runner will get second. So Bynum raced in, made a fine play making the out, but then the throw gets away. And the runner, Johnson, will advance all the way to third here with one out. That'll bring up Bryant Lowry. And Thompson's first pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Now the 0-1 from Thompson. That one just missing, 1-1 to count. That one swung on and missed, 1-2. And Lowry waits to the 1-2 pitch. That one fouled off. It'll stay 1-2. Now Thompson from the wind, the 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike three. Big strike out there with the runner at third. So Thompson getting the second out, and that'll bring up Tyler Wood. And the first pitch from Thompson popped up, but out of play, is hot because of the look. But Thompson ahead in the count, 0-1. Now the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball in there for strike two. And now Thompson working ahead. And the 0-2 outside, ball one. Now Thompson line. The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed, strike three. So Thompson with back-to-back strikeouts with the runner at third. And the Captains will strand one at third. No runs on one hit. There was one error and one man left on base. We'll move to the bottom of the second with the Eagles leading at 5-0. Back now for bottom of the second. Eagles with the 5-0 lead. It'll be Hott, followed by Moynihan, and then Sink. The Eagles 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Jono steps in 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. And Ream with the pitch. Hot lays off, called strike one. Jono entered the game hitting .570, leading the CAC ranking among national leaders in hitting, home runs, RBIs, doubles, and triples. He takes that one outside, 1-1. Lone senior on the Eagles team. And the 1-1 pitch, taken low, ball 2. And the 2-1 from Ream. That one low, ball 3. Hot sitting dead red here, 3 balls, 1 strike. Leadoff hitter in the bottom of the second. And 3-1. Swung on and grounded to second. Up with it and on to first for the out. And Hot retired 4-3. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Mitch Moynihan. Mitch with the 2-run double back in the first to bust it open. And start the scoring proceedings. And the pitch from Ream. Mitch in there hacking at the first pitch, swung through and missed, 0-1. And the 0-1. That one swung through as well. Now 0-2 to the Eagle left fielder. Now behind in the count 0-2. That one fouled away. It'll stay 0-2. Now it looks like the wind circling a little, now blowing out towards left. That one grounded quickly to first, and Moynihan will be tagged out for out number 2. So Green bouncing back from a tough first inning. Get the first 2 hitters here in the second. That'll bring up Sink. Ames walked his first time up. There again for the second at bat here in the second inning. That one grounded to short, and Sink out 6-3. That'll do it for the Eagles in the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We'll move to the third with the Eagles leading it 5-0. We're back now for the top of the third. The first baseman Josh Moore leading it off for CNU. Moore Jr. from Newport News. First pitch from Thompson in there for a strike, 0-1. Breaking ball just misses. That'll even the count. And the 1-1. That one fouled down the left field line and out of play. 1-2. Fastball in there just misses outside corner. 2-2. And Thompson's pitch. That one low, ball 3. So full count on Moore. Big first baseman, 6'4", 210. He runs the count full here to open the third. And the pitch from Thompson. In there, strike 3. Moore didn't agree with the call. He's retired for out number 1. And that will bring up number 37, Alex Crittenden. Crittenden, a junior from Deltaville, Virginia. Another left-handed hitter up there for the Captains. First pitch swinging, grounded out to Kime at short, on to Slupek for the out. And just like that, out number 2 for Thompson. So Thompson, after running the count full to Moore, gets a 1 pitch out there. And that'll turn it over to the top of the order in number 1, Keith Roberts. Roberts in there 0 for 1 on the day. First pitch from Thompson, breaking ball in there over the outside corner, strike 1. And that one fouled out of play over the right field fence. And Thompson ahead 0-2. So he's done a nice job through 2 2/3 of getting ahead in the count on the hitters. And the 0-2 pitch just misses. Actually, probably too good of a pitch, 0-2. But Roberts taking for ball 1. And the 1-2 breaking ball outside, 2-2. And pitch Roberts fouls this one down the left field line, out of play. And another 2-2 pitch on the way, outside, ball 3. Not sure if you can see just out of your shot from behind home, but the wind blowing in so hard now the windscreen is actually blown up in left center. And this ball hit in the air to right, and Burns under it makes the play for out number 3. To retire the side, the Captains, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We'll move to the bottom of the third. Eagles lead it 5-0. Back now for the bottom of the third. Eagles leading at 5-0. It'll be Slupek, Weaver, and Burns. Eagles 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up here in the bottom of the third. Slupek hit by a pitch his first time up. Loaded the bases. First pitch swinging this time. Hits this one hard into the gap. And that will find the fence. Slupek around first. And will trot into second with the Eagles' second double of the game to lead things off here in the third. So the Eagles with their 6th hit here in the top of the third. And that'll bring up Weaver. Weaver walked his first time. He steps in with Slupek, the runner at second, and nobody out here in the third. And Ream sets. Breaking ball outside and low, ball 1. Now the 1-0 to Weaver. Swung on, base hit. And Slupek will be held at third, so the Eagles will have runners at the corners and nobody out. That'll bring up Burns. Burns 1 for 1 in the game. RBI single his first time up back in the first. And there seems to be some stirring in the CNU bullpen as the catcher Wood out to buy a minute or two. Eagles 5 runs on 7 hits, 1 error. The captain's no runs on 1 hit and no errors. And Ream, both runners back. Now Ream's pitch to Burns. First one in there for a strike, 0-1. Now the 0-1. On the outside corner, strike 2. So Eagles with another runner in scoring position here, less than 2 outs. Fared very well back in the first. See if Burns can get this run across here. He's falling behind 0-2. That one outside, ball 1. And the old step off, fake to third, fake to first. It does work. It does work, or pitchers wouldn't keep doing it. Now Burns that one hard down the left field line, but foul, and that'll keep the count at 1-2. Now Ream sets from the stretch, the 1-2, hit right back to him. And a fielder's choice as Burns beats it out, so runners will stay at the corners. Well, that'll bring up Bynum. Bynum walked his first time with the bases loaded to plate a run. Now Burns back in safely at first. And Ream sets. First pitch to Bynum is high, ball one. Now Ream, pickoff attempt at first, Burns back in safely. Now Ream, back on the rubber. Comes set, and the 1-0 to Bynum. Nope, another pickoff attempt at first, Burns back in there safely. Now Bynum awaits the 1-0 pitch. This one in there, hit up the middle, on to second, and the scoop at first for the out. And the Eagles retired on the double play, 6-4-3. For the Eagles, no runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, 1 runner left on base. We'll move to the 4th with the Eagles leading it by a score of 5-0.
When the batter comes in, I'll start talking.
Thompson once again with strike 1. Next pitch, grounded hard. Sloop back up with it, makes the play for out number 1. Thompson with a little Jim Bouton there with the hat flying off. Early Jim Bouton, not knuckleball Jim Bouton. As Slupak retires the leadoff hitter here in the 4th. Now bring up number 44, Ginch, right fielder, 0 for 1 in the game. And 1-0 grounded hard down the third base line, fair ball. And Ginch around first in there with a double for the captain's second hit of the day. And Coach Reiser going to come out and ask the home plate ump what he saw, as I believe Weaver thought that one was foul. And Coach Reiser going to have a word with the third base ump to see what he saw, as I think Coach Reiser as well as Weaver thought that one was foul, as it tailed over before it reached the bag. There, Riser finds a second gear. And we'll be back underway here in just a second. So Craig Johnson up there with Ginch, the runner, at second. Now Hott out to talk with Thompson as the captain's with the runner in scoring position at second. Going to go over the signals. And Thompson. First pitch swinging is Johnson, fouls it away. Thompson again, 0-1. Best pitch in the arsenal is strike one. Thompson checks the runner, the 0-1. That one low and away. That'll even the count at 1 apiece. And Thompson sets, and a 1-1 to Johnson, outside, ball 2. Now Keller over to help with the runner. That one in there for a strike, 2-2. Now Johnson awaiting the 2-2. Fouled off there at the plate off of Hott. And the count will stay at 2-2. Now Thompson, the 2-2 outside, ball 3. Now full count. And that one in there, fouled away at the plate. It'll stay 3-2. Now Thompson from the stretch. Payoff pitch, that one fouled straight back. As the sports information assistants scatter despite being behind a fence. The count will stay at 3-2. Now Thompson steps off. Take the occasion to remove some dust from our eyes. And another 3-2. Breaking ball in there, strike 3 for out number 2. Thompson coming back with the breaking ball. He'd thrown numerous fastballs outside, then brings the breaking ball inside. And able to get the strike 3 for out number 2. So now runner at second with 2 outs. That'll bring up the shortstop, Kyle Corwin. And pitch from Thompson, high and away, ball 1. Corwin, the shortstop, a bit of a Bryce Harper look, wearing number 34 with the high socks and the beard. Of course, batting from the right side, however. And 1-0 from Thompson. That one fouled away over the first base dugout. That'll even the count at 1-1. Now Thompson looks in. It's the 1-1 call from Hott. That one grounded hard to short. Kime up with it. Long throw to first. Got him for out number 3. Great play there by Kime. And the stretch from Slupek at first for out number 3. That'll do it for the Captains in the 4th. No runs on 1 hit. No errors and 1 left on base. We'll move to the bottom of the 4th with the Eagles leading it 5-0. Back now for the bottom of the 4th. Eagles leading at 5-0. It'll be the top of the order for the Eagles in Keller, Kime, and Hott. Keller 1 for 2, single back in the 1st, struck out in the 2nd. And up here for the 3rd time against number 36, Blake Ream. First pitch in there from Ream for a strike, 0-1. Now the 0-1 pitch inside, ball 1, as Keller dancing out of the way. And the 1-1 low in the dirt, ball 2. Now the count 2-1 on Keller. Pitch from Ream in there and grounded to short. And on to first for the out. Keller out 6-3 for the first out here in the 4th. That'll bring up the shortstop, Justin Kime. And the pitch from Ream. Breaking ball, swung on and missed, strike 1. Now the 0-1 fastball hit the 3rd. And throw on to first. Kime out by a step. And that'll be out number 2 here in the 4th. That'll bring up the catcher, John Hott. John 0 for 2 on the day. He struck out and grounded out. Already the 3-time CAC Player of the Week this year. It's an honorable mention National Hitter of the Week 3 weeks ago. Takes the first pitch high, ball 1. As Hott calls time. Now the 1-0. Low and inside. And Hott now ahead in the count 2-0. And we've seen that in several instances this year. Hott up there with nobody on and 2 outs. Not going to give him too much good to hit, perhaps. That one high, ball 3. Jono already with 7 home runs on the season, just 1 shy of the UMW school single season record. Ream steps off. Now back on the 3-0 pitch. In there for a strike, 3-1. Now the 3-1 pitch. Hit in the air to deep left center, but the wind knocking it down, and Hott retired by the left fielder Ginch for the 3rd out of the inning. And the Eagles retired in order in the 4th. We'll move to the 5th with UMW leading it 5-0. Top of the 5th, the Eagles lead at 5-0, a 5-run first inning. All the scoring in this one so far. Oop. The leaves are a changing here in Fredericksburg. As the shrapnel in front of the camera finds its way onto the screen. Bryant Lowry leading it off for the Captains here in the 5th. That first pitch from Thompson inside, ball 1. And this one hit down the left field line. Wind knocking it down, but Moynihan's there to make the out in foul territory for out number 1 here in the 5th. That'll bring up the catcher, Tyler Wood. Now Thompson. First pitch bunted down the third baseline beautifully. Weaver on. Tough play. Won't get him. And Wood with the bunt single. The Captain's 3rd hit of the day. I'll bring up the first baseman, Josh Moore. Moore struck out his last time up. There with a runner on and 1 down here in the 5th. Thompson's pickoff attempt as Wood back in safely. First pitch low and away, ball 1. Thompson pickoff attempt. Snap throw. Slupek puts on the tag, but Wood back in safely, 1-0. And another pickoff attempt. Wood back in standing this time. Now Thompson. Fires in for strike 1 as Moore swings through the fastball, 1-1. One pitch swung on and missed, strike 2. And Thompson now again ahead of another hitter. Pickoff attempt at first would back in safely. Now the 1-2 pitch. Hit in the air to center. Bynum charging. It's tailing away from him. Moynihan tries to get it. It bounces away. The runner will move to third. And the captain's now with the runners at the corners. And 1 out. So that one found the Bermuda Triangle as Bynum got a good jump on it, but the wind just knocking it straight down. And Moynihan made a last-ditch effort for it, but unable to corral it. So CNU with their first serious opportunity here with runners at the corners and 1 out. Actually, their second opportunity, their second runner to reach third base. First pitch in there, ball 1 outside. That went in there for a strike, 1-1. So Crittenden in there, now 1-1. Runners at the corners. That one grounded to short. Kine to Keller. And the run will come in and score on the fielder's choice. So the captain score their first run of the day. I'll turn it over for the top of the order. And Keith Roberts bunting. Thompson up for the out. And that'll do it for CNU in the 5th. Captains with 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors. And 1 man left on base. We'll move to the bottom of the 5th with the Eagles leading at 5-1. And back now for the bottom of the 5th. Captains with a run in the top to trim the Eagle lead to 5-1. Before 5 and 6 up for the Eagles here in the bottom of the 5th with Moynihan, Sink, and Slupek. And Ream has bounced back nicely after a tough first inning as he's retired the Eagles in order in each of the last 3 innings. Or retired the Eagles without a run, I should say. So Moynihan behind now 0-1. And pitch from Ream. That one foul down the left field line. Deep but foul. And Mitchell behind in the count now 0-2. And the birds are flying overhead here at Dickinson Stadium. Taking in a little free action here at Dickinson Stadium. That one high on Moynihan, 1-2. Now the 1-2 to Moynihan. Outside, ball 2. That'll even the count. Now Reams 2-2. Taking low, ball 3. Good at bat here by Moynihan. Draw it back to a full count after starting out 0-2. And the payoff pitch. Hit hard to short and a base hit. Past the diving shortstop Corwin for the Eagles' 8th hit of the day. So UMW with the leadoff runner aboard here in the 5th, and that'll bring up the first baseman Slupek. Slupek with a long double to left center his last time up. Or excuse me, Slupek still on deck. Got to get to old James Sink here, the Eagles' designated hitter. As the Eagles going lefty, righty through the middle of the lineup here. Sink, the right-handed junior. Token toss to first base, and Moynihan back in there safely. Now Ream sets. Pitch gets by the catcher, and Moynihan into second base on the wild pitch. So now the Eagles with the runner in scoring position and nobody out. We'll see what Coach Chris Ellis down the third base line and Coach Reiser will do in this situation. Sink a good bunter, good speed. Ahead in the count 1-0. That one on the outside corner, called a strike 1. Evening the count now at 1-1 on Sink. Now Ream sets, checks the runner, checks him again. Breaking ball in there, swung on and missed by Sink. Now Ream ahead in the count 1-2. And that one outside will even the count 2-2. And meeting on the mound here. So Moynihan now with 2 hits for the Eagles. Mitch from Virginia Beach, Virginia, attended Old Dominion for 2 seasons. Now hitting cleanup for the Eagles, and he's back in there standing. Two balls, 2 strikes. The count to Sink, nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. Eagles looking to return that lead to at least 5 as that one outside will fill the count. Eagles with 5 runs in the first inning. CNU with 1 here in the top of the 5th to cut it to 5-1. And the payoff pitch to Sink is low. Ball 4 gets by, and Moynihan will go to third. That'll bring up Slupek. I promised he was coming. And looks like there may be a pitching change here, as we may see a lefty out of the bullpen to face the Eagles' first baseman. And no indication yet. As the captains with the meeting on the mound. Break and Ream will stay in there. So Eagles now with runners on the corners. Nobody out here in the 5th. Moynihan with the single, now Sink with the walk. That'll bring up Slupek. Cut one into the wind to the fence his last time up. First pitch in there low, ball one. Now Reed from the stretch. 1-0. That one low as well, now 2-0. Balls, no strikes, and Slupek will call time as the wind up in his eyes, as it is many of the spectators here at Vincent Stadium at the moment. Now the 2-0 for Green. Pickoff attempt at first, Sink back in there safely. Pitch swung on, out of play. They'll run the count to 2-1. Now Reed sets. Off, toss to first. Token throw, Sink back in there safely. And another pickoff attempt. This one in the dirt, scooped out by Moore. Eagles 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. Captains 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. That one in there, taken for a strike, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. That one fouled away and out. Back behind the stands. And the count will stay at 2-2. Trying to catch Sink in an early break for second. Let's Sink back in there. Two pitches low, and that'll run the count full to the Eagle first baseman. Sink off first, Moynihan off third, and the payoff pitch to Slupek. Base hit to right over the first baseman's head. 1 run will score. Sink will chug into third, and the Eagles will have first and third again with 1 run aboard. They now lead it by a score of 6-1. That'll bring up the third baseman, Thomas Weaver. So the Captains with a run in the top of the inning, and the Eagles right back with one here in the bottom, but possibly not done yet. Now Weaver gets under that one, hits it deep to left. It's going in, hooking foul for a long strike one. That one just caught up into the air and into that wind, which is significant today. Blowing straight in here at Dickinson Stadium. Pitchers get all the breaks. That one on the outside corner, 0-2. Now Weaver behind 0-2. Ream sets. Swung on and missed for strike three. So one out here in the fifth. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Burns. Burns with an RBI hit back in the first. Now Ream. There's the breaking ball in to start Burns off for a strike, 0-1. Hit to short, to second, and on to first for the double play. The Eagles out of it with just one run in the inning, but one run on one hit. There were no errors and one runner left on base. We'll move to the top of the sixth. Eagles leading at 6-1. And that's the Eagles' second error of the day. So the Captains with the leadoff man aboard. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Brandon Ginch. Ginch double his last time up. As some trees were cut down outside of right field here at Dickinson Stadium, but boy, not today. That wind blowing straight in as it has traditionally. And this one hit in the air to left center. Bynum makes the catch in left center. Gets it back in for out number one here in the sixth. Nice running play there by the Eagles center fielder for out number one. And that'll bring up Craig Johnson. And Johnson, left-handed hitter, stepping in against Thompson. Pickoff attempt at first. Runner back in safely. This one hit in the air to left center as well. And Bynum under it. Makes the catch for out number two. Throw into Keller. So two down now for the Captains here in the sixth. That'll bring up the shortstop, Corwin. First pitch, this one hit in the air to right center. And good morning, good afternoon, good night. Kyle Bynum recording all three outs in center field. That'll do it for CNU in the sixth. As they're retired in order, we'll move to the bottom of the sixth, and the Eagles leading at 6-1. Well, back now for the bottom of the sixth, and it'll be the man who recorded all 3 putouts in the top of the inning. Kyle Bynum, the Eagles center fielder, stepping in. Kyle 0 for 1 with a walk and an RBI. Swinging at the first pitch, falls behind 0-1. Blake Ream, the captain's right-hander. 6'4", 225 from Grafton High School in Yorktown. And the 0-1 pitch. High and tight will even the count of 1-1. And the 1-1. Breaking ball inside corner, 1-2. High ball 2. Keller, the Eagles leadoff hitter, waits on deck. And the 2-2 hit in the air down the third base line. Crittenden giving chase. Will make the play by the door to the bullpen for out number 1. Nice play there by the captain's third baseman. That'll turn it over to the top of the order for the Eagles. And the second baseman, James Keller. Keller steps in now with 1 out and nobody on. And first pitch, Keller. Breaking ball in there, called strike, 0-1. Now Ream with the 0-1. That breaking ball doesn't get the outside corner. Even the count of 1 apiece. And the 1-1. That one hit in the air to center, but we're on a rope. And caught there by the captain center fielder nicely for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the shortstop, Justin Kime. Kime, a local product, attended Patrick Henry Community College, native of Stafford. Up there, offers the bunt, strike 1. Now Ream, head 0-1. That one low and away will even the count. And 1-1, swung on and missed for strike 2. Now the 1-2 pitch from Ream. That one low and away will even the count. To the Eagle shortstop. Now the 2-2 pitch. Hit to short. Corwin up with it on to first for the out. That'll do it for the Eagles in the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We'll move to the 7th with the Eagles leading by 5. Back now for the top of the 7th. And first pitch in there, taken low by Bryant Lowry. And that one low as well, now 2-0. Some confusion between innings as got some kind messages from folks in Newport News suggesting some singing between innings, but I think we'll have to respectfully decline that option. As Thompson falling behind now 3-0. The first 3-0 count that Thompson has thrown here this afternoon. So I believe the Eagle bullpen will be up and looking as on across for strike one. And the 3-1 for Thompson in there, strike two. Now Joe will try and come all the way back. And the payoff pitch taken low, ball four. So the captain's with the leadoff man aboard in the person of Lowry. That'll bring up the catcher, Tyler Wood. And looks like a pinch runner for the captains, number 5, Taylor Loudon, checking in. Pinch runner, number 5. And the first pitch ball, Coach Reiser out to have a word with his pitcher. We'll see if he's going to make a move here or give him one more batter. As Thompson has been outstanding with control today, hasn't walked a batter until here in the 7th. At his first walk of the game to go with 4 hits allowed. So Coach Reiser not going to make the move. And Wood will step back in there. This ball hit in the air to shallow right. Burns unable to get to it. It's a fair ball. And the captain's now with runners in first and second and nobody out. And something going here in the 7th. So that'll bring up Moore, the first baseman. And now with the left on left, you see why Thompson's still in here. As the captain's with a number of lefties facing the Eagle lefty freshman today. So nobody out, runners on first and second here in the 7th. And bunt has pulled back ball 1 as that one got away from Thompson. Have to think this probably his last batter. Now the 1-0 pitch. Bunted down the third base line. And fair. And a bunt single will load the bases and nobody out. That'll bring up Crittenden. the third baseman. Up there now with the bases loaded, nobody out. And Thompson's first pitch in there low, ball one. Eagles with the middle infield at double play depth. They'll trade a run for 2 outs for sure. Strike in there will even the count at 1 apiece. Now the 1-1. Up the middle. On to second to first for Slupek in the double play. The run will score. That'll make it 6-2. So big double play there for the Eagles. So Eagles lead now trimmed to 6-2. And runner at third in the person of number 27, Wood. And Roberts in there with 2 down and the runner on third. And now here comes Coach Reiser, and that'll do it for the freshman Thompson. So Thompson should get a nice round of applause here from the fans, going 6 2/3, allowing 2 runs on 6 hits. And the Eagles with the pitching change, it'll be Tyler Degg, the junior right-hander, checking in for Thompson. Thompson 6 2/3 innings, 2 earned runs on 6 hits, 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. Faced 27 batters with 6 flyouts and 9 groundouts. So Degg taking his warm-up pitches. Tyler, a junior from Ruther Glen, Virginia, attended Caroline High School. We'll be back once he completes his warm-up throws. Well, Dave completes his warm-up throws. We can once again remind you that the Eagles will be back in action again on Thursday when they visit Southern Virginia University at 4 p.m. The Eagles' next home game will be April 8th, next Wednesday, when they host St. Mary's at 3:30. Well, Tyler Degg, the new pitcher. 3 saves on the season for Degg, leads the ball club. He will face Roberts with 2 outs and a runner on third. First pitch breaking ball, low and away, 1-0. And the 1-0 pitch. In there, called strike 1-1. Now the 1-1 from Dave. Breaking ball hits him. And now the Captains will have runners at the corners as the breaking ball didn't break. And the Captains now with runners at the corners and 2 down. And that'll bring up the center fielder nicely. Daig from the stretch. First pitch hit in the air to right. When knocking it down, foul ball. If it would have been fair, I believe it would have been caught by Burns, as he hit the foul line in stride just as that one landed in foul territory. So Daig ahead in the count 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, the count to nicely. Daig checks the runner, throws over. Back in safely is Roberts. The 0-1, and Daig hits nicely with the 0-1 pitch, so now the bases are loaded for CNU. And Ginch now the batter with the bases loaded. So Daig comes in, 2 breaking balls, hits 2 batters to load up the bases here for CNU, with already 1 run across here in the top of the 7th. First pitch, fastball high, ball 1. Now Daig with the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 1. And the 1-1 pitch. Popped straight back and out of play. That'll run the count to 1-2. Now the 1-2. That one fouled out over the first base dugout. Count will stay 1-2. One, 2 from Daig. Hit through the hole, base hit. 1 run is in. Moynihan up and throwing, and that runners will hold and advance 1 base. But CNU cuts it to 6-3 on the base hit from Ginch. And now base is still loaded with 2 down. And that'll bring up number 21, Craig Johnson. And first pitch from Daig, missing, ball 1. Now the 1-0 from Daig. Hit to first. Slupek is there, and that'll do it, as the captains are retired, but not before they score 2 runs to cut the score to 6-3 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Get up and stretch them out. Eagles lead it 6-3. Well, back now for the bottom of the 7th. Christopher Newport with 2 runs in the top of the 7th to cut the Eagle lead to 6-3. It'll be the heart of the order for the Eagles, 3, 4, and 5 with Hott, Moynihan, and Sink. Due up for Coach Reiser's Eagles. And Hott steps in against a new pitcher for CNU, number 14, Joe Burris. Burris, a freshman from Charlottesville, Virginia. His first pitch taken outside, 1-0. Now the 1-0. Breaking ball in there for a strike, 1-1. That one appeared outside. However, Burris gets the call now, 1-2. And Hott spins in the box. That'll even the count at 2-2. And that one outside will fill the count now, 3-2. Attack of the killer leaves. And the payoff pitch to Hott. In there, strike 3. As Hott down on strikes for out number 1. Here in the bottom of the 7th, that'll bring up Moynihan. Mitch with a single and double in today's contest. And the pitch from Burris. Looked to be the same spot, this time called a ball. Now the 1-0. That breaking ball low and away, 2-0. That one in the dirt now. Moynihan heading to count 3-0. And the 3-0 pitch. In there on the outside corner, 3-1. That one outside, ball 4. So with 1 out, the Eagles get Moynihan aboard, and that'll bring up Sink. And it appears Burris will remain in the game to face the right-hander. And Moynihan takes the lead from first. Burris. First pitch low to Sink, 1-0. As time is called at the plate, Sink looks like he's had some dust kick up in his eye. Don't know how that can happen on a day like today. Now Burris sets the 1-0. Appeared to be low, swung on and missed. That'll even the count at 1-1. Now the 1-1. Foul down the third base line. Chris Ellis showing the grace, coaching third base down there. And now with the count 1-2, Sink back in there. And Burris, token throw to first, Moynihan back. Eagles 6 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. Captains 3 runs on 7 hits. That one high and away will even the count at 2-2. Difference in the game, a 5-run first inning for the Eagles. 5 runs on 5 hits. Also 2 bases loaded walks in the inning. But Beam really bounced back to only allow 1 run over the next 5 innings as that one fouled away. To keep the Captains in it, and CNU with a run in the 5th and 2 in the 7th have cut it to 6-3 here, with 2 2/3 innings left to play. Now Burris sets, and the 2-2 pitch. Runner goes, and hit and run works to get the runner up. Sink out at first, 4-3. And that will bring up Slupek, as now Burris doing his Jim Bouton impersonation, the hat flying. So Slupek in there has been hit by a pitch, also hit a double, and singled his last time up to drive in the Eagles' 6th run. Up there with Moynihan on second. Takes that one low, ball 1. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. And the Eagle freshman first baseman in there facing the lefty for the first time today. Slupek winds but holds, and that'll takes a strike. That'll even the count at 1-1. The wind almost blowing across. The 1-1 pitch hit in the air to right, and deep. Back goes the right fielder off the fence. Slupek into second with another double as Moynihan comes in to score the Eagles' 7th run of the game. Slupek with his 2nd double, his 3rd hit of the game, and he's reached base for the 4th time as the Eagles lead now back to 4. It's 7-3. And now with Weaver coming up, looks like we may see a righty out of the bullpen, as the Eagles' next 3 hitters all right-handed batters. And here comes the right-handed pitcher we spoke of. Number 9, Kyle Goddard. Goddard, a senior from Forest, Virginia, will take over on the mound. And we'll be back with you on the other side of these warm-up throws. Well, Goddard completing his sidearmed warm-up pitches, and he will face Weaver with 2 outs, and Slupek the runner at second. Weaver, the Eagle 3rd baseman in there, batting from the right side. And pitch from Goddard. Taken for a strike, 0-1. And the 0-1. Hit hard down the left field line off the glove of the third baseman. Slupek around third. He'll score. And the Eagles right back with 2 here in the bottom of the 7th after the captain scored 2 in the top. The Eagle lead now back to 5 at 8-3 on the RBI single from number 11, Thomas Weaver. So Weaver hung in there, hit a bullet down the third baseline. Crittenden got his glove on it, but unable to stop it as the run comes in, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Brian Burns. First pitch in there, taken for a strike, 0-1. And the 0-1. Burns bunts it foul and was out of the box and hit him, and the ump rules him out. Burns out on the play for the 3rd out of the inning, but not before Mary Washington answers the 2 runs the captain's post in the top with 2 in the bottom. So we'll move to the 8th with the Eagles leading it 8-3. Well, back now for the top of the 8th as the Eagles lead back to 5 at 8-3. And it'll be the shortstop Corwin leading things off for CNU. And Daig out there after getting the 3rd out in the 7th. First pitch called outside, 1-0. Now the 1-0. That one rides up and in, and now Daig behind in the count, 2-0. That one down Broadway and hit deep to right center. The wind is knocking it down, however, and into the glove of Burns for out number 1. You can really see that one tail towards right. As it was almost hitting the gap, but Burns, just a few steps over, makes the play for out number 1. That'll bring up the designated hitter, number 5, Taylor Loudon. Loudon came on to pinch run back in the 7th. First pitch from Daig, breaking ball in there, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. And the pitch from Daig, that one fouled off, and Tyler quickly ahead now 0-2 on Loudon. Told a member of the captain's football team as a wide receiver. And the 0-2 swung with a check swing, couldn't hold it up, strike 3, and now 2 down for the captains here in the 8th. That'll bring up the catcher, Wood, the freshman from Gloucester, Virginia. First pitch breaking ball in there, strike 1, and now Daig has found it with the breaking pitch. And note, hit 2 batters with unbreaking breaking balls in the 7th. That one in there for a strike, 0-2. And Wood didn't like the call on that one. The 0-2 pitch. Hitting the hole. Past third, Kime up, long throw. Not in time. as Wood legs out the infield single. Now Wood with an infield single and a bunt single in the game. Serious wheels for a catcher. That'll bring up the first baseman, Josh Moore. 2 down, 1 on. Top 8. Eagles lead at 8-3. Now Dake checks the runner back. Now Dake from the stretch. Breaking ball misses. 1-0. Now Dake with the 1-0. Fastball misses low, 2-0. To the captain's first baseman.
2-0.
And the head fake here from our producer, Jason Varga. That one fouled off, and that'll run the count to 2-1. There's a little drizzle beginning to blow in from the big rain cloud out in right field. Now Dake steps off. Now sets the 2-1. That one gets away. Nice play by Haught. Makes the catch, and the runner's still able to steal the base. As Dig, I think, was bothered by the strong winds blowing. Came out of it and released early, and Haught made a nice play to jump out and snag that one before it got by him. And the runner Wood took and was able to make it in there, so CNU now with the runner in scoring position. And the count 3-1, one more. Hit by a pitch his last time up. That one fouled off at the plate. That one seems to be walking that one off. I think it got him too bad. Now full count, payoff pitch. Dake from the stretch looks in. More readies. And the pitch swung on and missed for strike 3 with the breaking ball. So Dake, great call there. That one low and inside. That'll do it for the captains here in the top of the 8th. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Eagles lead at 8-3. Back now for the bottom of the 8th. It'll be 9, 1, and 2 in the Eagle lineup, with the center fielder Kyle Bynum leading it off. Bynum followed by James Keller and then Justin Kine. Goddard came on to finish the 7th, back out there to start the 8th. As the first pitch to Bynum called a strike, 0-1. Side armor, that one misses outside, 1-1. That one low and away, gets by the catcher. We'll run the count to 2-1 and say hello to James Keller. Now Goddard sets the 2-1. This is low, 3-1. And Bynum hits that one up the middle, base hit. The Eagles' 12th of the game. And Bynum leads off the 8th. And the Eagles get the leadoff runner aboard. Here's Keller. First pitch to Keller, missing outside, 1-0. And a base hit up the middle from Keller, and the Eagles with the first 2 men aboard here in the bottom of the 8th, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Justin Kine. So Goddard checking the runner. First pitch, bunted down the third base line, foul, strike 1. So Coach Ellis flashing the signals, kind of taking a look down. And the 0-1 pitch, Kine pulls back. He'll even the count at 1-1. Bynum the runner at second. Keller at first. Back-to-back hits to start the 8th for UMW. And the 1-1, Kime squared around to bunt. As Bynum back in there. And the bunt popped up, and Kime is out on the pop-up to the pitcher for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Hot, the Eagle catcher, but not before we're going to have a pitching change. And looks like we will have the left-hander, yes. Looks like number 12, Jackson Lane. Jackson Lane, the sophomore from Chesterfield, will be the pitcher for the Captains when we return after these warm-up throws. So Hot now the batter, Eagles catcher. And third place hitter will be facing Lane. With 1 out, 2 on here in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch by Hot. Taken for a strike. And Jono in the hole, 0-1. Now breaking ball in there for a strike. Now quickly Lane ahead in the count, 0-2. Now the 0-2 from Lane. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And Hot out of there on strikes. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Moynihan. Now Lane sets. First pitch, low and away, ball 1 to Moynihan. Well, the captains have done the job against Hot today. Hot, it looks like, will be hitless just for the 2nd time in 21 games this season. But Moynihan and Slupek, the other 2 lefties, have done some damage as part of the 8-run, 13-hit attack for the Eagles. That one swung through 1-1. Now the count to the Eagle left fielder. Now Lane sets. Runners go. Outside pitch. And Bynum in there with the stolen base. So both runners go on the pitch. Called a ball outside. Now 2-1. And the Eagles with 2 runners in scoring position, as Bynum and Keller each pick up stolen bases. And the 2-1. That one fouled back hard by Moynihan. We'll even the count at 2-2. Now Moynihan in there waiting for the 2-2 delivery from Lane. Swung on and missed for strike 3. And that'll do it for the Eagles in the 8th. There were no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We'll go to the 9th. The Eagles 3 outs away, leading it by a score of 8-3. Top 9, Eagles lead at 8-3. Captains with the third baseman Alexander Crittenden leading things off against Daig out there for his 3rd inning. And breaking pitch in there for strike 1. Fastball hitting the hole past the diving infielders. And the captains with the Crittenden with the leadoff single. Slupek and Keller both made a diving attempt for it, but it found the hole. And CNU with the leadoff man aboard here in the 9th. Bring up Keith Roberts, second baseman. One on, nobody out, top 9. Dig from the stretch. Pick-off attempt at first, Crittenden back in safely. Now Dig from the stretch. First pitch to Roberts outside, ball 1. That one in there for a strike. That'll even the count of 1-1 on the captain's number 1. Breaking ball handled nicely out of the dirt there by Haught. As the count now 2-1 on Roberts. Line drive, base hit to left field. And CNU now with its first 2 runners aboard here in the 9th. They'll hold the phone. That'll bring up nicely, center fielder. And Coach Reiser going to call time here. And Reiser having a chat with his pitcher. So Dig, still out there, will face the center fielder nicely. We have 2 on and nobody out here in the top of the 9th. And pitch from Dig, breaking ball in the dirt. Nicely blocked again by Haught. And that one got a piece of Jono, I believe. I know Jono had one bounce up and bite him in the neck in the Eagles' win on Sunday against York in the first game. The life of a catcher. That one in there on the inside corner, 1-1. Now Dig sets and the 1-1. Hit to Keller at second. On the short time throw to first, not in time. So the Eagles get the out at second. Now runners at the corners for the captains with 1 down. And that will bring up the left fielder, Brandon Ginch. Eagles will play back at double play depth, willing to concede the run for the double play, obviously with 1 down. Double play would end the game. Now, first pitch from Dig in there, called strike with the breaking ball, 0-1. Dig checks the runner, comes set, and The 0-1 pitch. High fastball swung on and missed, strike 2. Now the 0-2. Popped up and out of play. It'll stay 0-2. Now Dig from the stretch comes set. 0-2 pitch, grounded to short. Kime gets it to Keller for the out. And the first safe is the call. Run will score. And that'll cut the Eagle lead down to 8-4 now with 2 outs here in the 9th. And that will bring up number 21, Craig Johnson. And the first pitch from Dag in there on Johnson, a called strike. That one missing low, now 1-1 on Johnson. Breaking ball in there, strike 2. And now Dig and the Eagles 1 strike away. That one dribbled foul down the first base line. Well, the count will stay 1-2. And the pitch from Dig hit to Keller at second, on to first for the out, and that'll do it. The Eagles with an 8-4 victory. They improved to 16-5 on the season and moved to 7-5 in Capital Athletic Conference play. And we'll be joined momentarily by head coach Wayne Reiser as the Eagles eclipsing last year's win total with their 16th victory of the season. The Eagles 8 runs on 13 hits, 2 errors. CNU 4 runs on 10 hits. And we'll grab Coach Reiser here in just a moment and get his thoughts on today's win.
Obviously, the difference in the game, 5 runs in the first inning. What was the key in getting out to such an early start there in the first?
Well, I think their pitcher, I don't know for what reason, struggled a little bit early, and our offense capitalized through some good at-bats out there and got a couple key hits and got some on the board, and I think that really got us out and helped us.
And from that point on, every time they make a run, we answer. They score 1, we answer with 1. They score 2, we answer with 2. What's that say, the resilience of the guys offensively?
Well, we're starting to come a little bit. We're starting to believe in the way we need to play some offense and, pick up our RBIs with a man on third with a left-handed hitter on there and less than 2 outs. And, those things help when you can tick-tack a little bit and build and instead of sitting around for a 3 to a 5 run inning all the time. And hopefully we'll be able to continue with that a little bit better and get a little bit better at it.
Strong effort by Joe.
No question. Young left-handed freshman, Joe Thompson, outstanding job. That's 2 back-to-back. We brought him in relief, in a conference game a week ago. Strike one, strike two. Every time you look up, he's 0-2, 1-2, and 3 pitches in the zone. Proud of him. Went out, 6 2/3, and we needed it. He did just such a great job. And, he's starting to learn that, if he does what he does and does it the right way, then it's good enough to compete. He doesn't have to do anything extra.
All right, Coach, congratulations. You made number 16 wins this last year's total.
Well,
Looking for number 17 on Thursday.
now that's a good thing, and thanks a lot.